OkunoKA Madness is a 2D platform game that follows a game style very similar to the well-known arcade. The game was developed by Caracal Games and Ignition Publishing, and released for Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 and PC, computer, via Steam. A curiosity about this game is that it was released in September 2020 for all platforms, but entered the official Brazilian Nintendo Switch store on December 20, 2021, being released with the inclusion of the Portuguese language of Brazil, which is very cool, because our national game market is already well developed, and deserves the attention of publishers. In the PC version of the game, via Steam, we still find the warning that OkunoKA Madness is not available in PTBR. So, at least in the version that was reviewed by our writing team. The game's home screen features options to play, to view stats, and help and options. In help and options you'll find information about the game's controls, about the settings, and this is where you control the volume of music and sound effects, activating the vibration or changing the game's language, as well as viewing the credits. In statistics, of course, you will see the statistics of your gameplay, and when you click play, you will find the game modes, story, madness, and time attack. In this game you will control a little blue monster that has a giant tongue, called KA. In addition, you will also be able to unlock other characters throughout the game, which will allow you to pick up some items, more or less in the style of Rayman Legends, and you will go through more than 100 stages, full of items, hidden secrets and surprises to unlock, and these stages are divided into worlds. At the end of each world you will fight the crazy boss of that world, and they are often very difficult stages, to, at the end of it all, fight his archenemy, the boss, and thus save the soul world, World of Souls. In addition to the normal levels, which are quite challenging, by the way, of the main mode, you'll also find the Madness mode, which, just by the name, you can already imagine what awaits you in this mode. Insane levels, with some being, really, extremely difficult, to test your skills. To tell you the truth, right after the first stages, which help you get used to the style of the game, the entire game has a high difficulty level that will test your skills and, also, often, your patience, which is good, because it gives the game a greater longevity, since you won't detonate it in a very short time. In short, you'll go through the stages as follows: running, jumping and grabbing walls, as well as dodging obstacles and mechanical monsters. You will have to reach the end as fast as you can, because at the end of each level there is a classification of notes, which is given according to the time you spent to complete that level. In more advanced stages, you'll see platforms with different colors that you can control, as to whether they appear or disappear, similar to what happens in Activision's masterpiece, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, where you can flip objects to different dimensions, so you can open paths, or even use them to climb in certain places or as a barrier, so you don't get hit by something that's coming your way. In each level there is a way that takes just a few seconds to complete, but many, many times, the hard part is figuring out what that quick way is like. Yes, this game reminds us of the Super Meat Boy style, and that's great. In other words, if you liked Super Meat Boy, don't hesitate and get this game right away to spend a few hours of fun, because this game seems to have drunk many good sips from the source of inspiration and success of Super Meat Boy. The game's controls, as with most platform games, are very simple and intuitive. When playing, you should not experience difficulties, and you will get used to the gameplay and all the game mechanics very quickly. I won't list the exact buttons for each command here, as the game is cross-platform and each controller has different nomenclatures on each console, but basically we have buttons for jumping, running, switching power, looking around and walking. OkunoKA Madness graphics are truly extraordinary. The visuals of each of the stages and the entire game are beautiful and colorful in the most perfect precision. There's nothing overblown or lacking in this game's graphics. They are pleasing to the eye and not tiring. The same can be said about the game's soundtrack. Excellent music and sounds that match the game perfectly and are not repetitive, which is even a little unusual in this type of game, platform. In summary, this is a 2D platform game, with an arcade feel and a high difficulty level, which will really test your skill in terms of gameplay and/or your patience. It features beautiful graphics and a great soundtrack. It's a highly recommended game for players who like platform games, especially hardcore ones. Rating: Graphics 9.5, Fun 8.0, Gameplay 9.5, Sound 9.0, Final Note 9.0.